Gananam tva ganapatigam havamahe kavim kavinamupamashravastaman Jyeshthārajam brahmanam brahmanaspata anashranvannotibhisseeda sadhanam Shri Mahaganadhipataye namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om. Dear friends, in the last class we completed the 26th shloka of 18th Adhyaya. The 26th shloka was about the Satvika Karta. Mukta Sango Anahamvadi Dhrutyutsaha Samanvitaha Siddhya Siddhyor Nirvikaraha Karta Satvika Uchyate. That shloka we completed along with the Bhashya. The overall context is that Lord Krishna is analyzing say various items in the framework of these three gunas. He is analyzing what is karma, he is analyzing what is karta, he is going to analyze what is dhruti and what is buddhi, all these things, everything, jnanam, karma, karta, dhruti, everything he is analyzing from the point of view of these three gunas. So earlier we have seen some classifications. Now we are analyzing what is a karta, the doer. What is the framework of mind of a doer? What is the frame of mind of a doer? So here we have seen the Satvika Karta, one who is detached, Anahamvadi, not boastful. Then Dhrutyutsaha Samanvitaha, at the same time, he may be humble, but at the same time he is full of energy, he is full of strong will. And then Siddhya Siddhyor Nirvikaraha, he is neutral, he is dispassionate because he is doing it as a matter of duty, as a matter of karma, as karma yoga, in that spirit of karma yoga, he is performing his duty. So such a person is called Karta Satvika Uchyate. We have seen this shloka. We have to read the next shloka. Now we are seeing Rajasa Karta. Ragi Karma Phala Prepsuhu
Ragi Karma Phala Prepsuhu
Lubdho Himsatmako Shuchihi
Lubdho Himsatmako Shuchihi
Harsha Shokanvitah Karta
Harsha Shokanvitah Karta
Rajasah Parikirtitaha.
Rajasah Parikirtitaha.
So this gentleman, Rajasah Parikirtitaha. Parikirtitaha means he is told like that. He is described as Pari plus Kirtitaha. Kirtana is praising. Kirti, here of course there is no question of praise. Parikirtitaha means he is just described. The meaning, overall meaning is he is described. Karta Rajasa Parikirtitaha. What type of Karta? Ragi. Ragi means one who is having that raga. One who has raga is called Ragi. Then Karma Phala Prepsuhu. Prepsu, we have seen this word earlier. Ipsa means desire. Pra plus Ipsa, Prepsa, great desire. Prepsuhu is one who has that great desire. Prepsuhu is that one who has great desire. What is this? What is the desire he has? Karma phala. Karma phale prepsuhu. Karma phalam ichchati. So he is one who is highly desiring that karma phala, who wants that karma phala. I want to be this, I want to get this, I want to acquire this. So that type of person, ragi, karma phala prepsuhu. Then lubdhaha. Lubdha, lobha. The word lobha, one who has lobha is lubdha. Greed, Gardha and greed, they are cognate words. Gardha in Sanskrit and greed of English. Gardha and greed. So if a person who is lubdha, for one who has that lobha, greed and avarice, so that person he wants to acquire more and more. So that is what is lobha. Himsatmakaha is also cruel in order to achieve what he wants. He doesn't mind inflicting some pain on others. He doesn't mind say causing some hurt to others. That is himsatmakaha. Ashuchihi. Ashuchi, not a question of bodily cleanliness, it is a question of mental integrity. It is a question of mental honesty or intellectual integrity as we call it. Ashuchihi. We have got the two things. Bhahyabhyantara Shuchihi. Every morning we do that prayer. Sabhahyabhyantara Shuchihi, we say. Bhahya Shuchi is by virtue of snanam. Anta Shuchi is by virtue of eliminating all the dirt in the mind. So that is it. Ashuchihi. Then Harsha Shokanvitaha. Harshena Shokena cha Anvitaha. That is one who feels happy when he gets something, one who gets depressed when he does not get anything. Harshanvitaha when he gets something. When he loses something, Shokanvitaha. So the one who is associated with the pleasure and pain. when he gets something or when he loses something. So that man, that sort of karta is called Rajasaha Parikirtitaha. So here it is not a question of karma yoga. The earlier man was doing any karma in the spirit of karma yoga. So such a karta is called Satvika karta. Here, of course, he is more and more ambitious, acquisitive, and he wants to get more and more, and he is depressed when he doesn't get a thing, when he gloats when he gets something. He celebrates, he conducts some parties, etc. So we have seen various celebrations. So that type of person is called a Rajasa Karta. So let us see the Bhashyam. Okay. Ragi. Ragaha asyastiti ragi. Karma phala prepsuhu karma phalarthi. Lubdhaha paradravyeshu sanjata trushnaha. Tirthadau cha svadravya aparityagi. Himsatmakaha parapida svabhavaha. Ashuchihi bhakyantasya varjitaha. We will stop here because up to this is the first line. Ragi. Ragaha asya asti iti ragi. One who has great desire, great attachment to a thing, great attachment to it may be an objective, it may be an ideal, it may be something. He has got great attachment to a particular thing. So he is a ragi. So that means, suppose you say, do you mean to say that bhakti also is a raga? Bhakti is not raga. Bhakti is something different. Bhakti is a sort of understanding of the nature of divine, and then you are following that. So that is a divine understanding. It is actually a more love than raga. In bhakti, what you have is more of love because of understanding of the nature of the divine. And then here ragi is to have an excessive attachment. It may be, this is my religion, my thing, my house, my people, my community, my caste. So all types of things. Ragi not merely for phala, for all these things, raga, attachment. And then he will go out of the way to do anything for his people. So that is ragi. Nepotism, call it, favoritism, call it, whatever you say. So all these things come under raga. Raga asyastiti ragi. Then karma phala prepsuhu means karma phalarthi. Prepsuhu means arthi, one who desires arthi. Then lubdhaha paradravyeshu sanjata trushnaha. Paradravyeshu. You see, somebody else is having something and you want to snatch it. Paradravyeshu sanjata trushnaha. Trushna is desire. Sanjata trushnaha means in whom the desire is born. Sanjata, born. Sanjata trushnaha. One in whom the desire is born, in order to snatch the property of others, you do various means and then try various tricks to deprive him of his property. So that is that sanjata trushnaha. Or there is another meaning also. Tirthadaucha swadravya parityagi. Tirthadau. Tirtha means two things. Tirtha, of course, the word has several meanings. Depending on the context, you have to take the meaning. Tirtha means, suppose you go to Tirupati or some other place, Kanchi, Kalahasti, etc., etc. These are all Punya Kshetras. So all these Punya Kshetras, they are called Tirtha. We also call them Punya Tirtha. Or you have suppose an elderly person, some guru or something like that, a Swamiji, a guru or some respectable old man, respectable person. So he is also called a Tirtha. Tirtha, a respectable person, highly respected person, he is called Tirtha. So tirtheshu. So when such a person comes, you are supposed to honor, you are supposed to give something to them. So tirtha is that also. Then tirtha is used in a totally neutral way in some places. For example, in Mahabharata, only yesterday I was reading one shloka in Sabha Parva. Narada goes and questions various Kushala Prashna he does to Dharmaraja. Kushala Prashna means asking about his welfare, are you governing well, are there any problems in your kingdom, etc., etc. In that, are you keeping a watch on these Ashtadasya Tirthani? He says, all these 18 places. In all these 18 places means 18 positions. So the enemy, so your say government is there, the enemy government is there. And in the enemy government, are you keeping a watch on the army chief? Are you keeping a watch on the, say, minister there? Are you keeping a watch on some other fellow there, Koshadhikari there? Can they be won over? So all these things, they are called tirtha there. So tirtha is a rather neutral word. We have to take it depending on the place. So tirtheshu, tirthadau, that is tirthadau, here we can take punya tirtha, or you can refer to a person. You can refer to a person. So that tirthadau, so suppose some Swami is there, some Pithadipati, so he is a tirtham. So you have got some other respectable guru, he is a tirtham. So like that. So in fact, in olden days, we also used to write a letter. Whenever you used to write a letter to your father, there is a punya tirthulaina, Tandrigariki you say, tirthulaina. Have you heard of this or not? You please ask somebody, some elderly person. He might have written a letter in this manner to his father. Gauravaniyulaina, punya tirthulaina. So something like that. So punya tirtha. So that was the way of addressing our own parents, our own elders. Punya tirthulu. So that way. So tirthadau, in people, where in deserving people, swadravya aparityagi. This man, he is very reluctant to loosen his purse. Swadravya aparityagi. His money, he doesn't want to give any, he doesn't want to part with his money. Aparityagi. Tyagi is gives. Aparityagi means one who does not give. So he doesn't want to loosen his purse strings. So that type of person. Then himsatmakaha, this also we read. Himsatmakaha parapida swabhavaha. By nature, he is a person who is capable of inflicting some torture on others, inflicting some pain on others in order to have some personal gain. So that type of swabhava, that type of nature this man has. Then ashuchihi bahya antashaucha varjitaha, devoid of this internal or external purity. Of course, bahya shaucha will always be there. Maybe Shankaracharya, he has included that also. Bahya shaucha, probably he may be referring to, say, his personality, demeanor, bearing, etc. That is, bahya shaucha means, suppose, while interacting with a person, I may be interacting in a very rough manner, I may be interacting in a crude manner, I may be insulting him. That is again bahya, comes under bahya pravartana. And antashaucha, my attitude, what is in my mind. So that is antashaucha. Bahya, probably he is referring to this body language and then offensive behavior, etc., etc. This bahya antashaucha varjitaha. Then let us read. Harsha shokanvitaha.
Harsha shokanvitaha.
Ishtapraptau harshaha, anishtapraptau anishtaviyogecha shokaha.
Ishtapraptau.
Sorry, anishtaviyo, not anishtaviyoga, ishtaviyogecha shokaha.
Ishtapraptau harshaha, anishtapraptau ishtaviyogecha shokaha.
Okay. Tabhyam harsha shokabhyam anvitaha sanyuktaha.
Tabhyam harsha shokabhyam anvitaha samyuktaha.
Tasyaiva cha karmanaha.
Tasyaiva cha karmanaha.
Sampatti vipatyoho harsha shokau syatam.
Sampatti vipatyoho harsha shokau syatam.
Tabhyam sanyuktaha yah karta.
Tabhyam samyuktaha yah karta.
Sa rajasaha parikirtitaha.
Sa rajasaha parikirtitaha.
Okay. So harsha shokanvitaha. Ishta praptau harshaha. He becomes happy when he gets something which is desired, when it is ishtam. Ishtam means something which is desired. Then anishta praptau or ishta viyoge. Anishta prapti is one and ishta viyoga is another. Anishta prapti means something negative happens. Ishta viyoga means something which you have that gets viyoga. Viyoga means it goes away from you. Viyoga. Yoga means coming together. Viyoga is separation. So something which is with you goes away. So that is ishta viyogecha. Shokaha. When you get something negative or when you lose something which you have, then there is a shoka, then grief. So this sort of thing. Tabhyam harsha shokabhyam anvitaha sanyuktaha. So with this harsha and shoka, this man is sanyukta. Sanyukta means he is associated. Then tasyaiva cha karmanaha sampatti vipatyoho harsha shokau syatam. So because for such action only, for that type of rajasa action only, sampatti vipatyoho harsha shokau syatam. This sampatti vipatti, sampatti means coming together. Vipatti means going away. Sampatti is something which is coming together, that is something which is coming. Vipatti means usually you use this word vipatti as some danger or something like some calamity, something like that. Sampatti, you can take that meaning also. In sampatti, in the case of sampatti, you are having happiness. In the case of vipatti, you are having shoka. Shoka which is syatam. Syatam means syatam syuhu, that is dvivachana. Syatam you must be knowing. Asti, asudhatu. Syatam syuhu, that thing. Syatam. Tabhyam sanyuktaha yah karta. The karta who is associated with these two things, saha rajasa parikirtitaha. That person is described as rajasa karta. So that is it. Then we are now coming to this tamasa karta. Tamasa karta is the third and last and worst variety. So let us read it. Ayukta prakruta stabdha.
Ayukta prakruta stabdha.
Shatho naishkrutiko lasaha.
Shatho naishkrutiko lasaha.
Vishadi dirghasutri cha.
Vishadi dirghasutri cha.
Karta tamasa uchyate.
Karta tamasa uchyate.
So this karta tamasaha uchyate. This type of karta is called tamasa. What type of karta? Ayuktaha. Yoga we know. Yoga means manas samadhanam, chitta samadhanam, where you are concentrating on a particular thing, where you are focused on something. So that is yoga. Yuktaha means one who is in that state of mind. Ayuktaha means one who is not concentrating on anything. One who is rather fickle-minded. We call it fickle-mindedness, isn't it? That fickle-minded, or somebody who is inconsistent in his say action, inconsistent. I try to do something and then immediately I throw it away and take up something else, and again I leave it and then take up something else. So that is inconsistency. There is no consistency, there is no focus in our approach. So that is called ayuktaha. Then prakrutaha, opposite of samskruta. Samskruta is somebody who is refined. Prakruta is somebody who is unrefined, crude. So that type of person, unrefined person, prakrutaha. Then that means who is not exposed to any good, samskara. Who is not exposed to any good samskara, he is prakrutaha. Stabdhaha, because he is not exposed to any good samskara, he has no habit of listening, he has no habit of learning from others, he is too impatient, and then he sticks to an idea and then he holds on to that idea as the only thing. Stubborn. Stabdha is the meaning is stubborn. Stabdha, stubborn. So again, these two appear to be cognate words only. Stabdhaha, that is somebody who just refuses to listen to others because he is never schooled in some good, samskara. The fellow, he is never exposed to some good samskara. So that type of person. Then shataha. Shatha means cunning in nature. Shataha. There is a saying by Bhartruhari, Shathe Shathyam Samacharet. If you come across a cunning fellow, you also have to deal with him with equal cunningness. That is loka vyavahara. Of course, not for a seeker, for a loka vyavahara. Somebody who is in loka vyavahara. Shathe Shathyam Samacharet. That is the niti. That is, if the other fellow is cunning, you are also supposed to be cunning, so long as loka vyavahara is concerned. But then for a seeker goes above that. Seeker is not, he ignores that shatha. Seeker, even if he comes across a shatha, he ignores that shatha. He is willing to be, even if the other fellow is cunning, he is willing to be deceived. He doesn't bother for that. So that is it. Shataha. Naishkrutikaha. There is a pathantaram also which says naikrutikaha. Naikrutikaha, naishkrutikaha. Here Shankaracharya gives the meaning as harming somebody else in his activity. Suppose you have a company, your rival has another company. You introduce your spy in that company and then you try to destroy the company, get its secrets or something like that, and then destroy the work of others. So harming the work of others, that is the meaning given by Shankaracharya here, Naishkrutikaha. Naishkrutika is somebody who harms the other man's karma, other man's activity. So that is Naishkrutikaha. Alasaha. Alasa we know, lazy. Alasyam we say. In Telugu we use the word alasyam in a wrong sense. Wrong sense means changed meaning rather. Alasyam is laziness. Literally in Sanskrit, alasyam means laziness. Alasaha means lazy person. In Telugu we use alasyam as late, delay. Alasyam, not that. Then Vishadi. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Somebody who is depressed, pensive, or rather in a very sorrowful mood. So that sort of person is Vishadi, a very pensive, depressed person. Dirgha Sutri cha. Dirgha Sutri means Sutra means thread. Dirgha Sutri means long thread. That means he gives a long rope to anything. He doesn't take any action when, say, action has to be taken. Dirgha Sutra, we have heard of, you must have heard of one story. Dirgha Darshi, Prapta Kalagnya, Dirgha Sutra. Have you come across this story or not? Panchatantra. You please read the stories of Panchatantra. Panchatantra, there is a story of some fish which are there in a pond. And then, say the Dirgha Darshi, one who foresees that, oh, this year we are not going to have adequate rains, let me go to a better pond, let me go to a larger pond. So this fellow, somehow he manages to go to a pond where there is a water always. So he is a Dirgha Darshi. Prapta Kalagnya is when the situation arises, he has enough intelligence to somehow maneuver and go away and save himself. Then Dirgha Sutra is a fellow who has neither that foresight nor ability to handle it when it comes, and then he suffers ultimately. That is Dirgha Sutri. So we come across three types of people. One who a fellow with a foresight, the other he doesn't have foresight, but he is having enough ability to maneuver himself and then somehow get through. So that is it. Like we pass the examination with about 40-45 marks. Somehow at the time of examination we read some say back page and then write something, and then there are people who just read the back page and write something and pass the exam. So like that. Then Dirgha Sutri is one who is not capable of that also. So Dirgha Sutri is somebody who postpones things. Procrastination is another big word, postponing. Dirgha Sutri is one who doesn't do things in the right time. You can do a thing in 1 hour, but you don't do it in 1 hour, but you do it for one whole day. So that fellow is a Dirgha Sutri. Dirgha Sutri, that is a procrastinator or somebody who postpones things. So that sort of person. So such a person is called Tamasaha Karta, Tamasaha Uchyate. So many types of personalities we are seeing in this 18th Adhyaya. It's literally really amazing. So here let us see the Bhashyam. Ayuktaha Asamahitaha.
Ayuktaha Asamahitaha.
Prakrutaha Atyanta Samskrita Buddhihi Balasamaha.
Prakrutaha Atyanta Samskrita Buddhihi Balasamaha.
Stabdhaha Dandavan Na Namati Kasmaichit.
Stabdaha Dandavan Na Namati Kasmaichit.
Shathaha Mayavi Shakti Guhanakari.
Shataha Mayavi Shakti Guhanakari.
Naishkrutikaha Paravrutti Chedana
Naishkrutikaha Paravrutti Chedana
Alasaha Apravruttishīlaha Kartavyeshvapi.
Alasaha Apravruttishīlaha Kartavyeshvapi.
Vishadi Sarvada Avasanna Svabhavaha.
Vishadi Sarvada Avasanna Svabhavaha.
Dirgha Sutrisha Kartavyanam Dirgha Prasarane.
Dirgha Sutricha Kartavyanam Dirgha Prasarane.
Yadadya Shvova Kartavyam.
Yadadya Shvova Kartavyam.
Tan Masenapi Nakaroti.
Tan Masenapi Karoti.
Okay, now the Bhashyam is also over. Yascha Evam Bhutaha Sakarta.
Yascha Evam Bhutaha Sakarta.
Tamasa Uchyate.
Tamasa Uchyate.
One line it is completed. Then let us see what is it. Ayuktaha means asamahitaha. Samahitaha, samadhi, samahita, related, isn't it?
Yes.
One whose mind is not in that concentrated frame of mind. So one who is not in that concentrated frame of mind, he is asamahitaha. One who is not focused on a thing, one who does not have that attention. So that sort of person. One who is a fickle. Then prakrutaha. Atyanta asamskruta buddhihi. Asamskruta, totally unrefined, totally ill, not only bad education. The people may not be having education, but they are refined. Suppose you go to villages. There are several people who may not have any education. They may not have formal education, but they are highly refined people as human beings. Because the moment you go, they receive you with love, care and affection, so which you don't get from an educated person. So they may be unrefined, they may be uneducated, but they are highly refined people. They know values, human values. But here, this fellow we are referring to somebody who is totally unrefined, who doesn't bother for certain human values and etiquette or say courtesies. So that sort of person. Asamskruta buddhihi bala samaha. It can be compared to a child, childish, not childlike, but childish. So bala samaha. Then stabdhaha. Stabdhaha means Dandavat means like a stiff rod. Danda means a stick. Danda, Telugu word, Hindi word also, danda, you know. Danda, danda is like a stick. He doesn't bend. Dandavat. Na namati kasmaichit. Even if some Guruji, some Pitadipati comes, he doesn't bend. So he doesn't bend. He is so stiff-necked, let us say. Stabdha, literally you can have better word is stiff-necked. So stiff neck means he is like this. He doesn't bend, he doesn't do namaste to anybody. So stiff-necked fellow. So dandavat nanamati kasmaichit. Then shataha mayavi. Mayavi means a deceitful person. Mayavi, deceitful person. Then shakti guhanakari. Guhanam means concealing. Shakti guhanakari. The fellow, he is having a lot of potential to cause evil. So, but outwardly he appears to be such a nice, sweet-tongued person. A man may smile and be a villain. So that's what Shakespeare says somewhere. So Shakti Guhanakari, a fellow has potential for enormous mischief, but then he conceals it and then appears to be a highly refined, polished person. So that also is there. Then Naishkrutikaha. Naishkrutikaha, Paravrutti Chedana Paraha. Paravrutti, other people's activity. Paravrutti, other people's activity. Chedana, which Chedana? To break. Chedana Paraha means he is always concentrating on how to spoil the other man's work. So Paravrutti Chedana Paraha. So all these things need not be there in one person. You see, for example, we have seen Prakrutaha, we have seen. Then we have seen Shakti Guhanakari. These two are slightly opposed. Prakruta is somebody who is totally unrefined. Whereas Mayavi Shataha, he knows all deceitful nature and then all cunning nature. So that means he is a fairly refined fellow with a lot of abilities for mischief. So that is it. So certain things may combine, certain things may not combine. So we should not think that there are certain opposite things here. Certain things will combine, certain things may not be there. So altogether the fellow is a dangerous person. Shakti Guhanakari, Naishkutikaha, Paravrutti Chetanaparaha, Alasaha, Apravrutti Shilaha. Pravrutti means the capacity to engage in an action. Pravrutti, capacity to get into action. So that Pravrutti Shilaha is one who has that ability. Apravrutti Shilaha means one who is a lazy person, who talks too much, and then who always is an escapist. That is also escapist is also another thing. A fellow, in order to conceal his laziness, he uses so many arguments. So that type of person, he uses so many arguments to conceal his laziness. So Apravrutti Shilaha, Kartavyeshvapi, even in matters where he has to jolly well do something. Kartavyeshvapi, where there is a kartavya, where there is a duty. Even in that, this man, he doesn't do that. Then Vishadi, Sarvada Avasanna Swabhavaha. Avasanna, Avasidati, Vishada, Sad Dhatu, Sidati, Avasidati, Avasanna. So that is somebody who is always depressed. Vishadi, one who is depressed, one who is pensive, not thoughtful, dejected. So that type of person. Depressed person. Then Dirgha Sutrisha, Kartavyanam Dirgha Prasarane. Dirgha Prasarane, he just a small thing he stretches and stretches. So Dirgha Sutri, Sutra is thread. He stretches that work. That is Prasaranam. Prasaranam means stretching. A better, wonderful word expression by Shankaracharya. Dirgha Prasarane, he just goes on stretching that small work. He keeps on doing something, what can be done in half an hour, he will do it for the whole day. Dirgha Prasarane. Yat Adya Shvova Kartavyam. Adya means today, Shvaha means tomorrow. Whatever has to be done either today or tomorrow, Yad Adya Shvova Kartavyam, Tat Masenapi Nakaroti. Even in 1 month he doesn't do. Masenapi Nakaroti. Then Yascha Evam Bhutaha. Evam Bhutaha means this type of person. Evam Bhutaha Yaha. Sa Karta Tamasa Uchyate. So now we have seen this Karta, 3 types of Karta, Sattvika, Rajasa and Tamasa Karta. Now we are seeing Buddher Bhedam Dhruteshchaiva. So Buddhi and Dhruti. Buddhi is the capacity to understand, the power of understanding. That is Buddhi. Earlier we have seen Jnanam, Jnanam Karmacha Kartacha. We have seen Jnanam. So how do you distinguish this Jnanam and Buddhi? Jnanam is there, Buddhi is there. So Jnanam we have seen, say what is that Jnanam? Satvika Jnanam means that vision of unity is Satvika Jnanam. That say the attitude to see that say oneness in everything. That is Jnanam we have seen. That is one thing. Buddhi is again coming. Then how to distinguish between Buddhi and Jnanam? Buddhi is the capacity to analyze, capacity to understand. Adhyavasayatmika Buddhi. We have come across that word. Manaha, Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha, Adhyavasayatmika Buddhi. We have come across those words. Adhyavasaya means ability to discriminate, ability to decide. So that is that. So that sort of Buddhi, that sort of thing is Buddhi. Jnanam is a vritti. Jnanam, all said and done, is a vritti. So you analyze and then you form an opinion, or you form a thought, you form some sort of thought process. So that thought process is vritti, that is Jnanam. So by analysis you arrive at some conclusions, and those conclusions they will give you a samskara, that they are the samskara. That samskara is Jnanam. So you also know a word called Vritti Vyapyam and Phala Vyapyam. We have discussed in Kathopanishad Bhashya or Kenopanishad Bhashya. Vritti Vyapya and Phala Vyapya. This Brahma is it Vritti Vyapya or Phala Vyapya? It is only Vritti Vyapya, not Phala Vyapya. Vritti Vyapya means Vritti goes up to that, and then Vritti also disappears. That means this, for example, when I am cognizing a pen, it is both Vritti Vyapya and Phala Vyapya. That is, my Vritti, that my Chitta Vritti, that this Vritti is going and holding it, and then Phala Vyapya, I know that I know this pen. When I say I know this pen, that is called Phala Vyapti. When I say yes, I am seeing this pen, this is a pen. This vritti, this vritti goes and pervades this pen. Vyapti means pervading, isn't it?
Yes.
This vritti pervades this pen. That is only vritti vyapyam. Then phala vyapya is when I know that I know this. That is phala vyapya. Where in the case of Brahman, so vritti is generated by Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana over a period of time. That samskara gets generated. So that is again a buddhi vritti only. Jnanam is a buddhi vritti. I am telling all this because Shankaracharya is going to say that in the last, at the end of the Bhashya. At the end of the Bhashya, he is going to say that. So Jnanam is a samsara, it is a vritti, isn't it? So this vritti tells you what Brahman is. And then once you reach that Brahman, you become Brahman. Then you don't say, I know Brahman. When you say, I know Brahman, you are not that, because you are still making a distinction between you and Brahman. You can't say, I know Brahman, you become Brahman, isn't it? So then there is no phala vyapti in that. So vritti vyapyatvam eva, so there is one beautiful shloka by, what is this, Vidyaranya, in Panchadashi. Phala vyapti is not desired, vritti vyapti is only there, not phala vyapti. There is a good shloka which I immediately don't recall. So anyway, now you have understood the difference between buddhi and jnana. Dhruti, what is dhruti? Dhruti is strong will, determination, fortitude of mind, etc., etc. That is also a vritti only. So jnanam on one hand, that is also a vritti. Then this dhruti is also a buddhi vritti. Whereas buddhi is that capacity to understand. Buddhi is that ability, the ability to understand, the ability to comprehend. So that is that thing. So this power of understanding is called buddhi. So now we are seeing, say this buddhi, analysis of buddhi from sattvika, rajasa, tamasa point of view. And later we see the analysis of dhruti from sattvika, rajasa, tamasa point of view. So let us read this line, shloka. Buddher bhedam dhruteshchaiva gunatas trividham shrunu procyamanam asheshena pruthatvena dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya is the address. Dhananjaya means one who has conquered a lot of wealth. So it seems that Shankaracharya is also going to say in that Rajasuya Yaga time or something like that. He went round and then he conquered various kings and then he acquired a lot of money. So that is it. Then buddhehe bhedam dhruteshchaiva. Buddhehe bhedam, that is the division in respect of buddhi. Then dhruteshchaiva, and the bheda with respect to bheda or difference with respect to dhruti. Dhruti means that will. Then gunataha trividham. Gunataha means in the framework of those three gunas, trividham, three types. Shrunu. Shrunu means you listen. Buddhehe bhedam dhruteshchaiva means dhruteshcha bhedam cha. Dhrutehe bhedam cha. Trividham. Trividham eva shrunu. Gunataha trividham. In what way it is trividham? Gunataha trividham. By virtue of these three gunas. Then prochyamanam. Prochyamanam means which is that which is being told by me. Pra plus uchyamanam. Uchyate. Uchyamanam. That which is being told. Prochyamanam. Asheshena means fully, totally, comprehensively. Asheshena. Shesham means something remaining, isn't it? Ashesham means nothing is remaining. So that means Asheshena means in a comprehensive way, totally, fully, I am going to tell you. Asheshena. Pruthatvena, by properly dividing. Pruthak means dividing, isn't it? Separately. Buddhehe bhedam separately, and also dhruteir bhedam separately. Pruthatvena. Hey Dhananjaya, you please listen. I am going to say the threefold division of buddhi and threefold division of dhruti. Bhashyam also is simple. Buddher bhedam dhruteshchaiva bhedam.
Buddher bhedam dhruteshchaiva bhedam.
Gunataha satvadi gunataha.
Gunataha satvadi gunataha.
Trividham shrunu iti sutropannyasaha.
Trividham shrunu iti sutropannyasaha.
Prochyamanam kathyamanam.
Prochyamanam kathyamanam.
Asheshena niravasheshataha.
Asheshena niravasheshataha.
Yathavat.
Yathavat.
Pruthatvena vivekataha dhananjaya.
Pruthatvena vivekataha dhananjaya.
Okay. So buddhehe bhedam. That is the division in buddhi. And this dhruteshchaiva bhedam. This division with respect to dhruti. Gunataha means satvadi gunataha. In the framework of the sattva, rajas and tamo gunas. Trividham, three types of things. Shrunu. Shrunu iti sutropannyasaha. Sutra upanyasaha means in brief. Sutra prayena. People say, suppose somebody gives a lecture, you go to a lecture. And some people say, okay, in brief, this is what I am going to say. Sutropannyasaha. What I am going to say today is point number 1, point number 2, I am going to elaborate on these things. So that is sutropannyasaha. That is by way of sutra or in brief, this is what is going to be told. So that is what is that. That is buddher bhedam dhuteshchaiva, I am going to say. This is the sutropannyasaha. Then prochyamanam means kathyamanam. Kathyamana, kathayati. That is, you know that dhatu. Asheshena niravasheshataha. Without leaving anything behind. Without leaving anything behind. Yathavat. Asheshena means yathavat also. As it is. Then pruthatvena means vivekataha. Properly discriminating. Buddhi bhedam and also dhruteir bhedam. Properly discriminating, properly separating. Viveka means analysis. Viveka, to separate and analyze. Vivekataha dhananjaya. Digvijaye manusham daivam cha prabhutam dhanam ajayat.
Digvijaye manusham daivam cha prabhutam dhanam ajayat.
Tena asau dhananjaya. Arjuna. Dhananjaya refers to Arjuna because during the Digvijaya, so Pandavas, they do some Digvijaya, say that is prior to say they are losing their kingdom, etc. They do some Digvijaya. You see, all this, say this game of dice, it starts only after these people, they go around, do some Digvijaya and then acquire a lot of money, acquire a lot of wealth. It is only then that Duryodhana gets an idea to deprive him of their kingdom. So Digvijaya was done much earlier. So Digvijaye manusham daivam cha prabhutam dhanam ajayat. So this man, he went round and then he won. Ajayat. Ajayat means jaya dhatu. Jaya means victory. Gaining victory is jayam. Jayam is victory. Ajayat means he got victory. Or he won. What did he win? He won manusham vittam daivam cha. Manusham vittam, all material wealth. Daivam vittam, he also acquired some punya. he also acquired some punya by punishing some bad people. Because according to our dharma, bad people have to be punished. Some bad, ruthless kings are there, suppose. Even today we also see, okay, you say each politician comes with an agenda saying, okay, I am going to promise you very clean government. This particular government is a very corrupt government. So I am going to displace this and I am going to give you heaven. So something like that. So, but then, if he really does it, he will get punya. Replacing some bad fellow, replacing some ruthless king, replacing some highly corrupt regime and then establishing a good regime, it gives punya. So that is how it is Daivam Vittam. So for a Kshatriya, that is supposed to be a Daivam Vittam. To remove bad, say, rulers and then establish some good rule, give some peace to the people, rule in a very judicious way. So that is Daivam Vittam. So that is that way. Manusham Daivam cha Prabhutam Dhanam Ajayat. Tena, by that, Asau Dhananjaya. This particular chap is called Dhananjaya. Arjuna. Let us read the shloka. Next shloka. What? This is about Satviki Buddhi. Satviki Buddhi. Because Buddhi is a Strilinga, that is feminine gender. We call it Satviki. Then let us read the shloka. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha ya vetti buddhissa partha satviki. Buddhi, that say ability to analyze, ability to understand, that buddhi, ya buddhi, that buddhi which, if you come see the last line, ya buddhi, do you see the last line?
Yes.
Ya buddhi, that buddhi, say bandham moksham cha vetti, dash vetti, it knows. Vetti means it knows. That buddhi which knows all these things, sa buddhi satviki. That buddhi which knows all these things told in the first line, so that buddhi is called satviki buddhi. What are all those things? Then pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. We know what is pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti lakshano dharmaha, nivritti lakshano dharmaha. Vivido hi vedokto dharmaha, pravritti lakshanaha, nivritti lakshanascha we got in introduction. So pravritti is activity in this world. Nivritti means withdrawing from all that, and then even when you are doing this action, you do it in such a way that you are getting, say, rid of the karma phala, getting out of this karma phala. So that is what is pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti is progress in this life, nivritti is gradual withdrawal from this, and then working towards moksha. So this particular thing, this gentleman is aware, which means that he is somebody who is in the right path. He may be doing some karma yoga also. So this man who knows what is this pravritti, what is this nivritti, and then chooses his action in a proper way, so he is that. So that sort of buddhi. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. Then karya karye. Karya plus akarya. Karya karye means it is not saptami vibhakti, it is dvivachana. Karyam plus akaryam. Karya karye. That is karyam, something which can be done. Akaryam, which cannot be done. This is do's and don'ts. Then bhaya, abhaye. Bhayam and abhayam. What to fear and what not to fear. Bhayam and abhayam. Fear and no fear. That is the meaning. But here the fear means we have to take it as what to be afraid of and what not to be afraid of. What to fear and what not to fear. So that is the thing. Bhaya, abhaye. Then bandham moksham cha. What is it that is going to bind you and what is it that is going to liberate you? What is it that is going to lead you to the path of knowledge? So that sort of thing. These things, ya buddhi vetti, the buddhi which knows all this, sa buddhi satviki. He partha, sa buddhi satviki. Is the shloka clear? Bandham pravrittim cha. Okay, pravrittim cha, pravrittihi pravartanam bandhahetuhu karma margaha.
Pravrittim cha pravrittihi pravartanam bandhahetuhu karma margaha.
Nivrittim cha nivrittihi mokshahetuhu sannyasa margaha.
Nivrittim cha nivrittihi mokshahetuhu sannyasa margaha.
Bandha moksha samana vakyatvat
बन्धमोक्ष समानवाक्यत्वात्
प्रवृत्ति निवृत्ति कर्म संन्यास मार्गौ
प्रवृत्ति निवृत्ति कर्म संन्यास मार्गौ
इत्यवगम्यते. Okay. So pravrittim cha nivrittim cha. So pravritti, what is pravritti? Pravartanam. That is going ahead in this world and then doing all the karmas, etc., etc., which is bandha hetuhu karma marga. This is bandha hetu. Bandha hetu means the cause for bondage. The cause for bondage. And what is this cause for bondage? Karma marga. Pure karma marga. Doing all these karmas, not in the spirit of karma yoga, but with the spirit of karma phala prepsa. So that sort of thing. So that is bandha hetu karma marga. Then nivrutti. What is nivrutti? Moksha hetuhu sannyasa marga. Moksha hetuhu means the cause for liberation, the cause for release from all these things, cause for release from all these bondages. And then what is that? Sannyasa marga. That is giving up all these things, renunciation, the path of renunciation. Then bandha moksha samana vakyatvat. No, we read this. Bandha moksha samana vakyatvat. Because samana vakya means, you see this line, pravrittincha nivrittincha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha yavetti. So these pravritti and nivritti, they are read in the same line along with bandha and moksha. That is the samana vakyatvat. That is, they are read in the same vakya. Pravritti and nivritti are read along with bandha and moksha in the same vakya. So we have to take a related meaning, not something unrelated meaning. So that is why, because bandha and moksha are told along with this pravritti nivritti, bandha moksha samana vakyatvat means bandha and moksha are told in the same vakya, same sentence, along with pravritti and nivritti. So pravritti nivritti, what do they mean? What should they mean? Pravritti should mean karma marga, nivritti should mean sannyasa marga. So that is the meaning of this line. Bandha moksha samana vakyatvat, because they are in the same vakya. Pravritti nivritti means pravritti and nivritti, dvivachana. Dvivachana. What do they refer to? They refer to karma sannyasa margau. Iti avagamyate. Pravritti refers to karma marga and nivritti refers to sannyasa marga. Iti avagamyate. Avagamyate means it is understood in that way. Then karya karye vihita pratisiddhe kartavya kartavye
विहित प्रतिषिद्धे कर्तव्या कर्तव्ये
karana karane ityetat.
करना करणे इत्येतत्.
Kasya desha kaladhyapekshaya दृष्टादृष्टार्थानां कर्मणाम. So karya karye, karyam and akaryam, that is vihita and pratisiddha. Karyam is something which is vihitam. Vihitam means which is mentioned in the vidhi. Then pratisiddha, which is prohibited. Then kartavya, akartavye, something which is to be done and something which should not be done. Karana and akarane, something which is karanam, that is to be done. Akaranam, something which should not be done. Ityetat. So that is the meaning. Kasya, of what? Deshakaladhyapekshaya dushtadrushtarthanam karmanam. Karmanam, what is this karya karye? Deshakaladhyapekshaya, in a particular context, in a particular desha means in a particular place. And in a particular time, in a particular place, in a particular time, this is something which can be done, which has to be done, and something which should not be done. Desha kala dhyapekshaya, because these dharmas also, desha kala dhyapekshaya, there are certain things which keep changing. So desha kala dhyapekshaya drushta adrushtanam karmanam. There are drushta karmas and adrushta karmas. Drushta means something with this drushta phala. Adrushta is adrushta phala, swarga, etc. For all these things, there is a specification. In a particular place, in a particular time, this has to be done this way, this should not be done this way, of all those things. Then bhaya bhaye bibhet yasmaditi bhayam. Tadviparitam abhayam. Bhayam cha abhayam cha. Bhaya bhaye drushta drushta vishayoho bhaya bhayayoho karane ityarthaha. Okay. Bhaya means bhaya karanam. You see, bhaya abhayayoho karane ityarthaha. So bhayam means bhaya karanam. That which you have to be afraid of is bhayam. What you have to fear or what you should be afraid of is bhayam. What you should not be afraid of is abhayam. Dushta dushte bhaya bhaye. Karya karye bhaya bhaye. Bhaya bhaye means Bibheti asmad iti bhayam. Bibheti asmat. Asmat means from this. Asmat bibheti. Kasmat bibheti. Asmat bibheti. From this I have fear. So that is bhayam. That means that is bhaya karanam. Suppose there is something here. Bibheti asmat. I am afraid. Bibheti is of course in third person. He is afraid of some particular thing. So that becomes the bhaya karanam. Then bibheti asmad iti bhayam. Tad viparitam abhayam. The totally opposite of it is abhayam. Something about which one need not be afraid. A right cause, suppose something which is a bad thing we are naturally afraid of, and something which is going to cause you harm, which is something which is going to be which is an obstacle in the path of moksha. So from that you have to be afraid of some sensual attraction or something like that. So you should be afraid of. So that is that tad viparitam, say bibhet yasmad iti bhayam. So you should be afraid of such. Then abhayam tad viparitam abhayam. Bhayam cha abhayam cha. Bhayam cha abhayam cha bhaya bhaye. Bhaya bhaye is again dvivachana. Then drushta dushta vishayayoho bhaya abhayayoho karane. These things are the cause. Bhayam and abhayam refer to not exactly fear and not having fear. They refer to the things. They refer to things which cause fear or about which one should be scared, and about which one need not be scared, one has to follow. So that is it. So there are certain activities about which one has to be afraid of. Suppose a bad fellow comes and invites you for some gambling, to come to some gambling center or something. So that is the cause for fear, bhaya. Somebody invites you to a satsang. So that is abhaya. This is a very simple example. So drushta drushte bhaya bhaye drushta adrushta vishayayoho bhaya abhayayoho karane. Bhaya karanam is invitation to gambling center. Abhaya karanam is invitation to satsanga. So that is it. Bhaya abhayayoho karane ityartha. Bandham sahetukam.
Bandham sahetukam.
Moksham cha sahetukam.
Moksham cha sahetukam.
Ya vetti vijanati buddhihi.
Ya vetti vijanati buddhihi.
Sa partha satviki.
Sa partha satviki.
Bandham sahetukam. Sahetukam means along with its hetu. Bandha along with its hetu. What exactly is the cause for bondage? Sahetukam means you know that bondage along with its karanam. What causes bondage and what causes moksham? Moksham cha sahetukam. What causes moksha? What is going to lead you to what is going to lead you to bondage and what is going to lead you to liberation? So these things. Ya vetti vijanati buddhihi. Ya buddhihi. The buddhi which knows. Ya vetti vijanati. Ya buddhihi vetti means that buddhi which knows it. Sa partha satviki. Sa buddhihi satviki. That buddhi you please know it as satviki. Then here, of course, here Shankaracharya is now making that, bringing out the distinction between Jnanam and Buddhi. Tatra Jnanam Buddher Vruttihi.
Tatra Jnanam Buddher Vruttihi.
Buddhistu Vruttimati.
Buddhistu Vruttimati.
Dhrutirapi Vrutti Vishesha eva Buddhehe.
Dhrutirapi Vrutti Vishesha
eva Buddhehe. So Buddhi we have seen. Buddhi is the capacity to understand. The power of understanding is Buddhi. And Jnanam is a Vrutti. Jnana is a vritti. So long as it has not become totally Brahma Jnana, and so long as you have not become Brahman yourself, Jnanam is all a Buddhi vritti only. We have done a lot of Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. Unless we have become Brahman ourselves, it remains a Buddhi vritti only. Because I feel that I know this. So when you can't say that I know Brahman. When you say I know Brahman, you are not at all Brahman. You are making a distinction between that. So, but this Jnanam, the vritti also disappears when you are in that state of awareness, when you are yourself that state of, say, infinite awareness or consciousness itself. So that is what we say as Brahma Jnana, and he becomes Brahmavit, Brahmaiva Bhavati. That is what we say. So long as you have not become Brahman, Jnanam is also a Buddhi vritti. Isn't it? So that is clear, I suppose. Yeah. So long as a person is not Brahman himself, Jnanam is a Buddhi vritti. So tatra Jnanam Buddhehe vrittihi. It is a vritti in Buddhi. Then Buddhistu vrittimati. Vrittimati means that which has vritti is vrittimati. Like Dhanavan, Balavan. Like Dhanavan, Balavan, Matubarthaka. Dhanamasya iti Dhanavan, isn't it? So Buddhi, Vruttihi Asyasti iti Vrittimati. Again, Buddhi is Strilinga, so that is why it is said Vrittimati. If it were to be masculine, we would have said Vrittiman. So Buddhi is feminine, so Vrittimati. Then Dhrutirapi Vritti Vishesha eva Buddhehe. Dhruti, this Dhruti also, Buddhehe, Dhruti Vishesha, Vritti Vishesha eva. This is again another Vritti. Another type of Vritti is Dhruti. Jnanam is one type of Vritti. Dhruti is another type of Vritti. Dhruti means that strong will to do a thing. So that is it. Then we are coming to Rajasa Buddhi. Yaya, let us read the shloka. Yaya dharmam adharmancha
Yaya dharmam adharmancha
karyam cha karyamevacha ayathavat prajanati
Ayathavat prajanati
buddhissa partha rajasi. So now we are coming across sa buddhihi he partha rajasi. Sa buddhihi rajasi. That buddhi is rajasi. What type of buddhi? That buddhi yaya means yaya buddhya, by which. Yaya means yaha, yaya buddhya, yaya. That is Trutiya. Yaya buddhya means by which buddhi. Dharmam adharmancha karyamcha akaryamevacha. So dharmam and also adharmam. Karyam akaryam, that which can be done and which cannot be done. Ayathavat prajanati. Yathavat means as it is. Ayathavat means not as it is. It perceives in a wrong way. It perceives in a wrong way because it is affected by ego. It is affected by greed. Ayathavat prajanati. It is affected Rajasi buddhi. This ego and Rajoguna, it is full of ego, isn't it? That is, we have seen karma phala prepsuhu, lubdhaha, himsatmakaha, ashuchihi, etc., etc., rajasakarta. So because of the interaction with this ego, because of interaction with greed, he cannot see a thing in a proper way. So he distorts things, he has got a distorted vision. So that is what is ayathavat prajanati. Prajanati means knows. He knows it in a totally distorted way. So that is it. Ayathavat prajanati buddhihi sa partha rajasi. Some buddhi which perceives a thing in a distorted way because of the interference of ego and because of the interference of greed. So because of that buddhi is rajasi. Is the time over or we'll see the bhashyam?
Yeah, 2 more minutes.
2 more, we'll see the bhashyam, that will be over. Okay. Yaya dharmam shastra choditam
Yaya dharmam shastra choditam
adharmam cha tat pratishiddham karyam cha akaryamevacha purvokte eva karyakarye ayathavat na yathavat
Ayathavatu na yathavat
sarvato nirnayena na prajanati ya buddhihi sa partha rajasi. So that buddhi which sees things in a distorted way is rajasi buddhi. What is that? Yaya, by which buddhi? Yaya means yaya buddhya, by which buddhi? Dharmam, what is dharmam? Shastra choditam, that which is prescribed, that which is say choditam. Chodana is prompting a person to do a thing, say directing a person. So shastra choditam, that which is directed by the shastra. Then adharmam cha tat pratishiddham, whatever is opposite of it, whatever is prohibited or prohibited, that is adharmam. Then karyam cha akaryam eva cha purvokte, we have seen it earlier. Purvokta means it told in the earlier shloka. Purvokte eva karya karye. So that those two things. Ayathavat, yathavat, na yathavat. Sarvato nirnayena. Sarvato nirnayena means by taking into consideration all things. Sarvato nirnayena, by seeing all aspects. You have not seen all aspects, but because of your greed and because of your ego and all that interplay of you, say this influence of ego, you are seeing only what you want. There is a saying, the mind sees what it knows. You see, you want to see a particular thing in a thing and then you see it, and you don't want to see it from all angles, you don't want to see it in its reality. So that sort of thing. Yathavat, na yathavat, sarvato nirnayena. Sarvato nirnayena means by seeing all aspects, sarvataha, all around. It's by seeing all aspects, then you will have a proper idea. Because of our own prejudices, we don't see a thing properly and we understand a thing in a wrong way. Though the other man is a right person, we have our own prejudice about him and we don't want to listen to him. So that sort of thing. Ayathavat, sarvato nirnayena, na prajanati ya buddhihi. That buddhi which doesn't want to, which refuses to listen, or which listens, which understands in a totally wrong, distorted way, sa buddhihi rajasi. So that sort of buddhi is rajasi. We will continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.